Good morning, everyone. I am Councilmember Byron Amos, Chair of the Transportation Committee. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. Introduction of my members. To my far left, have Councilmember Wan, Councilmember Hillis, joined by also Councilmember Lewis. Before we do the adoption of the agenda, there is a change I would like to make to the agenda. Since we may be facing losing a quorum, I will be moving the presentation for today to the end of the agenda. So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote, please.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Thank you. The agenda has been adopted. Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open.
Minutes have been
Ms.
approved. Okay. Then just remember, we're going to try, we will be approving our 2024 Transportation Committee goals and objectives on at our February 12th meeting. So please make sure we get all comments, suggestions, additions, deletions to Mr. Overton. With that being said, we have public comment. We have anyone signed up to speak? Okay, and if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me, but we have Mr. Win Fouquet. Yes, sir. You have 3 minutes, please.
All right, all right. Good afternoon, council members. Good afternoon, everyone in the room. My name is Olaolu Winfunke. I am the owner of TPU Technologies, Inc. So we are a full-service transportation company. We also deal in air transportation as well. The reason for my attendance today is to let those that don't know my company know about it a little bit briefly. We're national. We've been in business since 2015. We started here in Georgia because we saw the need for drivers. Even though Uber and Lyft are out there, we found a niche in the system to where our services are actually also needed. We're a taxi company. We're a limo company. We also have an app in the App Store. My app is national, but I'm focusing on the Atlanta market. So basically, we've been busy. We work with over 95% of the hotels here in Georgia, from Augusta to, the hotels here in Atlanta. So we would love to do more work with everyone. We just need more vehicles on the road. And a lot of events have been going on in Atlanta, and we know that a lot more events will be going on. So we need funding to get the vehicles that we need. And I am registered. I am a vendor for Atlanta. So yeah, this is what we do. We started I started it in 2015, but officially registered. We're a Delta supplier. We're a Brave Stadium vendor. So yeah, so I don't have any paperwork with me as of yet because we're preparing it. But at the next meeting, I'll have my business plan. Basically what we're looking for, that we feel we can run the company as we should. We know Uber and Lyft are a big company. We're already working with a lot of people. So if anybody needs any rides, we have over 1,200 drivers in the state of Georgia. And basically looking for, I feel, to run the company best, we need a location, we need a headquarters. As I said, we need vehicles, and probably like around $7 to $8 million is basically what we feel we'll need to get our app going, because we do have an app in the App Store. We have a website. We have 2 apps. We have the driver's app. We have the passengers app. And then we have the CEO's app with the executives and things of that nature. So once again, my name is Olaolu Winfunke, and I appreciate everybody's time, and I look forward to bringing you that information about the business plan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chris Brown. Okay, Ricky Brown. And as Mr. Brown come up, just want to let everyone know we've been joined by Councilmember Waits and Councilmember Overstreet.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ricky Brown. I'm a taxpaying citizen here in the city of Atlanta. I'm also a business owner here in the city of Atlanta. I come here to support and stand for the rights of free speech. I was just informed a couple of days ago that my friend DeJuan Robinson is now being threatened, possibly with arrest, for a protective order for some comments that he made here at council, which I feel is free speech and protected speech. So I want to make sure that that it's clear that where I stand, and I think a lot of people in the community stand, that we have to be very careful when you try to block someone from speaking before you. This has been going on. I may not look like it. I'm 63 years old this year. And I go all the way back to Hosea Williams, who was a very, very good friend of mine, who came and spoke before city council many, many times. And when he was arrested, it wasn't for speaking before city council. So I want to make sure it's clear. I know some of the things have been said that he's stalking Ms. Farrell at the airport. That is not true. I want to stand with that. The meeting that he was at the airport that day, he was there to support the taxi cab drivers. I was asked to be at that same meeting. I couldn't make it, so he wasn't there for that. So now we have city business now going to be discussed in open court from a City of Atlanta Airport official employee. So I just want to be clear. I stand for right. I stand for free speech, and I stand for protected speech. And if that is threatened, we're going to go way back. And Atlanta, as the mayor said, we are moving forward. And if we're moving forward, we don't want to move backwards by taking the voices of people. You may not like what we say sometimes. People are still mad at me when I got on the Cop City people. I'm not a racist. I felt that the cops needed a place and the firefighters, people like that needed a place to train. And I stood for my city, and I have the right to do so. So to try and take that right from DeJuan and take that right from the people and the people in this city is not wrong, is wrong, and we will not stand for it. And I know Mr. B is here in this audience, and I demand that she stand down, because if we go up in that courtroom on the 12th, there's going to be a problem. And we don't want the problem that we're going to bring. So let's shut it down. This man didn't threaten nobody. He has a right to free speech, and you try and take that away from him. You're not only taking it from him, you're taking it from me, and you're taking it from every citizen in this city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. V. Bear.
Her time and Mr. Brown's time was yielded to me, Mr. Chair.
I was about to say that as I brought you up, but I would like to see the people here that.
B. Bear was in here. As you know, she worked downstairs. Mr. Brown was here when you guys put the list. For him to tell, but Ms. V works downstairs in Watershed. She was just in here.
Okay, well, we're pressed for time. What we're going to do is go ahead and give you the 9 minutes, but from this day forward, people, please, if you give your time to other citizens, either chair or someone on the committee or official member of the committee needs to see that person to say it.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect, to sit here to wait when the list is late and council members are late. I'm just.
I understand. Duly noted. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your grace on this. Before I start out, I'm so glad that we have Mr. Steve Myers here. Ain't God good? This is a guy, council, that has been reported for letting a young lady lie on her application when she said that when she was confronted by HR, told her that Mr. Myers told her to lie on her application about her experience and her education. And our general manager don't know about it, and HR don't know about it. He's here today. I hope you guys ask him this. Thank you for. Also, let's not be fooled by people at the airport by the names of Tyronia Smith, Miss Jan Lennon, and Miss April Borders. These are people that are allowing the airport to just act, I'm saying what they want to act. These are people that are in HR that are doing erroneous things that you guys would not allow inside of City Hall. And once again, we allow them here without asking them these questions. Why, Mr.? He's here today. Please ask him. Please ask him. When you see the AJC article that Ms. Kelly Yamaguchi always write, ask yourself, why would she write anything against the airport when the airport spend hundreds of thousands on ads with the airport? Why would you? So we need to stop reading these articles and thinking that the airport is here. No, it's our job to make Mr. Bill Durr look good. It's our job to make Ms. Ja Farrell look good. That's what she's supposed, that's what she get paid to do. So we need to stop pretending that it's anything other than that. And some of you council members over there, you have a big voice when ATL DOT come up here. You want to hold them hostage and ask them a million questions. When Martin here, you ask a million questions, Alex Warren. You don't ask not one damn question to this airport. How hypocritical are you guys? And you're going to stop doing that to ATL DOT as if they are not here to help the city of Atlanta and the roads. You always want your council districts, you know what I'm saying, to be paved right. But what about the other citizens who can't come down here and ask for that? You will stop doing that to ATL DOT. And when it come to me, I come down here and support families who don't believe in violence or doing things that I would do it. I have to respect that. But when it come to me, ain't no way in hell we're gonna allow them to play with me like that. I'm born and raised here. We will not let Jaffarell accuse me of anything. I've never seen this woman outside of here, never stalked her, and as a matter of fact, she only been here once in 1 year. So what is she afraid of? The truth? So this goes for y'all, that damn mayor office, ain't nobody gonna play with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you will not just see me in this suit. You will see the real born home come out of me, because I don't play that. You know what I'm saying, Ms. Overstreet? You know what I'm saying? That's your soror sister. She's not a real sister. She just became a damn AKA 1 year ago. She ain't pledged nothing or done nothing. So y'all gonna stop pretending that, and y'all ain't gonna play with me when it come to that. It's not no angry black man, but we're not gonna play with my freedom like that. I got a mother I take care of. I got a sister I take to the doctor every damn day, you know what I'm saying, with counsel. I got nieces and nephews, and I got a host of friends. We not gonna play them games with me when it come to my freedom. We not gonna do it. When it come to politics, hey man, politics is a contact sport. I can deal with it. Me and Dustin ran for office. Dustin and his team got me kicked off the ballot. Hey, it's okay. I had some things I didn't take care of. It was okay. Politics is a contact sport, but not my free speech ain't gonna be played with, and damn sure not my freedom. So y'all can sit here and play these games and be afraid to ask them questions all you want to, and we're not gonna play that. You know what I'm saying? Let's go for the second floor. Everybody over there, understand that you gotta live in this city when you're not elected no more. You gotta live here. It's not a threat, it's a goddamn promise. You gotta live here. And I ain't gonna play with you the same way, you know what I'm saying, you allow them to do this to me, I'm not gonna play with it because we're not gonna do that.
Dr. Robinson, language, please.
Okay, I got you. All due respect. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna take a breath and
Pause
listen.
your time so you're not losing no time.
Hey, okay.
You ready?
I'll refrain from that, absolutely.
Timer start.
Back to business at hand, hey, we not gonna play with that. Antonio Lewis, I do respect you for always attempting and willing to ask the question, but we gotta go deeper, bro. Why do you care to be a friend with them? They in your district, they don't care nothing about you, man. They didn't help you get elected. I was right there with you when you was running. These folks didn't know you, they don't respect that. So why do we think that they would take care of us? Because guess what? The one man that was in this city helped thousands of black folks become millionaires. They didn't give him not one dime when he left office. Let's be clear, Maynard Jackson died from a heartbreak. You know something, because the very black folk that he chained himself to make sure we get 30% minority participation, didn't give him a dime. Imagine if each black contractor would have gave him $1,000 a month. That's $1,000 a month, all of them. He would have lived off $100 or $2,000 a month. So I'm trying to tell you, these same selfish people that y'all think y'all be protecting and scared to speak up with, they won't give you a dime when you ain't in that seat no more. They will use you up while you're there. Mr. Amos, Miss Overstreet, Miss Wacy, Mr. Lewis, none of you guys will do in your lifetime more than this man, Maynard Holbrook Jackson, have done. So if they didn't give a darn about him, what made you think that they would give a darn about you? That's all I'm saying, man. We can't let these people play with us, man. Mr. Bill Dora will go on back to India, you know what I'm saying, to live here when it's over with. He don't care. He don't care. Like, we gotta stop pretending to take up for these people, man, when they wrong. Wrong is wrong. Nobody is above reproach in this city. Nobody. So I'm talking to the mayor, Courtney English, Theo, everybody who listening over there. You've been here long enough. Don't play with me like that to allow this airport and Jaffarell or nobody to play with me or nobody when it comes to free speech taking a daggone TPO out, talking about somebody stalking you or playing with you. Girl, you would not play with my name or nobody in this city like that. You ain't even from here. Take them game back to the east side and play with that. We're not allowing that. The same man, Mr. Amos, that y'all say that we love, I'm sure the FBI called Martin an agitator. Anytime you speaking out against something that the system don't agree with, you're an agitator. I'm not no damn agitator. I'm an educated man who's speaking out against the injustice and the corruption from the airport and anywhere else. And so be it if they don't like it. The same people that y'all want to say you love, hey, they was called an agitator or whatever they want to call it. Maynard in his last day came and spoke out against the same people that he helped. He spoke out against council and said, hey man, we got a bunch of scared Negroes on council. They're afraid. So was Maynard considered an agitator, Mr. Beador? No, I'm saying the same airport that you work at? Was Maynard Jackson considered an agitator? So y'all not gonna play with me. Ask yourself this, council. Mr. Michael Smith here, he's a lawyer. He worked for Delta for 25 years. He's next in charge. Why isn't Michael Smith over a lot of this stuff that they put Jai over? Ask yourself that. You have an ethical man here. Work for Delta. He should be the prime man to be handling this stuff. 25 years with Delta. He's a lawyer. He's an ethical man. Don't have not one scratch on his record of doing anything unethical. And the same people that used to be under Michael Smith, they took from him and put him on the job for real. Ask yourself why. Why are you afraid to even ask Mr. Beador? You got a man here with you who's a lawyer, worked for Delta 25 years. Why isn't he over all of these things that a woman who's not even qualified to be over it? Why is she over everything that the airport generate funds, Miss Overstreet? Ask yourself that. Why is she over all of these things and not Michael Smith? He's an ethical man. Why? Ask yourself that. Are we too afraid to ask them that? But you want to get up here and grill Mr. Solomon as if he's not a beloved son of Atlanta, as if he don't love Atlanta. You got people that don't even love Atlanta, not from there here for a paycheck. And if you look in your checkbook, 10 of the top 20 highest paid employees come from the airport. Y'all think that's coincidental? Are you crazy? 10 of the top people. We got, man, y'all gotta be crazy, man. Miss Jaffaretta not even qualified making $220,000. She got a mother over there with a GED making $130,000. Where in the city, the county, the state, or the feds that you can go from $58,000 to $130,000 in 2 years? 58 grand, Mr. Amos, to $130,000? Ask HR to show y'all her background record, well, her education level. I wish other citizens in Atlanta with a GED can make $130,000, Mr. Lewis. Can we make that happen? Can we make that happen from the poor areas we from where you make 58 in 1 year and you go for $130,000 with a GED? Come on, man.
Time.
Put that on Channel 5.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. Giannis.
Call my name, I want to say one.
And ask, sir, as you come up, we have a council member who want to speak very quick.
And because you spoke my name, and my question is to the law department, because it's in the newspaper, they just brought it to the council meeting. I want to know is if from comments from this side, from this side, can a city department or a VP of a city department sue someone or take him to court, whatever the cases are, from his comments from right there? Because he's questioning department stuff. That's what I'm hearing. And he's saying free of speech. That's where they came in. We have people talking about freedom of speech. So that's my question.
Nina Hickson, City Attorney. First, to be clear, the action about which Mr. Robinson has spoken is an action that was brought by the individual, not by the city or on behalf of the city. There's no authorization to do that. The code does not permit me as a city attorney to bring an affirmative action except for very limited circumstances having to do with the business of the city. So I want to be clear that that's...
And I feel like I understood you, but can I tell you what I understood that to say?
Airport employee.
Please, Dr. Robinson, because I appreciate you for your answer. And what I heard you say was that the city is not doing this, and you haven't seen a city department or the city do this to someone, and this is the individual.
It's not authorized.
All right, that's not authorized. All right. My next thing was Steve, he mentioned, the one thing I made sure I took a note of, and I may need to ask the attorney, can I even ask this question? Because it sounds like a personnel issue. He mentioned something about Dr. Robinson mentioned Steve Myers, and he mentioned someone with got hired and lied on their resume, lied on their application. And I don't know if that's something we need to, how can I look into that? I want to look into that.
I would say that is a personnel matter. I'm not familiar with it, and so that's something that would need to be
So
addressed.
my request would be if HR, I can make the request from here, I hope, because I learned this from Councilmember Bone. HR, can you look into that matter for us and give us a response from that? So HR, if you're under the voice of that's Commissioner Smith and whoever the commissioner is for the Department of Aviation, can you look into that and give me a one-pager back so I can respond to the constituent that made a accusation, that made a comment in public comment? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Yanis. And I see several people are signed up for the taxi issue. That paper will be held today, which means there'll be no action on it, but you still can speak to it.
Yeah. Well, my name is Yonis. I'm a Atlanta taxi driver president, and definitely coming here give you what we established last year. We, Special Anthony Lewis, he started on last year. We were discussing about the age limit at the airport for 10 years, and I hope, we pray, just keep that word and make sure the driver needs to be held from 7 to 10 years age limited. And we have the hardships going on last few years. So the other thing is going on the airport, we're working together and especially Mrs. Smith, she did a great job in, whenever we call and ask for help, she always there. So pretty much, a lot of changes happened to the airport. The previous one, yes, we have a lot of issue, misunderstanding is going on. We invited actually Rick Brown and Dwayne Robinson and actually Ron Shakir one time. We had a meeting over there. That was a long time ago. They came over there and said a few words. But after right now, we have a Deputy General Airport Manager, everything is changing. That's why you don't see me coming over there to complain about the airport or all the stuff. Briefly wasn't yes, but right now we have the relationship with them. We're having unique ladies right there, Mrs. Smith doing her job. And I'm very happy with the way, she's handling the business. And we want to continue to have a relationship respected with the airport. And I met with the airport general manager a few minutes ago, asking the police respecting us. Let's work together. Nobody can afford us coming over there and complain about the airport. We need to sit down as a family, whatever difference we have it, to fix it there. Still, we have a few issues going on with the airport, when it comes to the ground transportation, when it comes to the Uber, picking up the customer from the West Curve, a lot of traffic is going on. But I see the light on the tunnel right now, the new administrator, we have it, the new Deputy General Manager Airport, she's doing an excellent job. So that's on behalf of the cab driver is a starting point. But we have a long way to go. So we keep asking you again, please, and keep your mind is, I know you're not taking a vote today, but when it's come to the cab driver, it's an issue. It's a lot of other shit going on, but 10 years age limited. That's what we came here as a taxi driver's leadership. Mr. Brian never met with you before. Pretty much other faces, I've met with them. So we would like to meet with you, set out a time, give you the feedback, what's going on with the airport. And we ask airport general manager to open us at least once a month, give us the feedback, what's going on up there. And there's no middleman. Right now, you don't see no company owners speaking for us. I speak behalf of the elected for the drivers. But right now, the airport is much better than before. There's an initiative in town. So that is we're happy. We're here, and hopefully, we would love to meet with you guys in the near future and keep your mind here. We need your help about when it comes to taxi issue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next will be Mr. George Sita, I believe that is.
Yeah, my name is George Stater. Eunice has covered pretty much major issues that we would like to talk about here. But in addition to that, I would like to thank the council members. I'd like to thank you in particularly, the role you have played in giving us or listening to us or taking care of our issues. What we are now enjoying most pretty much is the rate that was presented before you, and you positively talked about it, and it was passed. And we are now enjoying that rate. That makes it very easy to go about the damages that was caused by the global pandemic, which actually caused a lot of burden in taxi cab industry. Although we lost some of our members, very unfortunately, but it was sad. But what is now going on, just like Mr. Yonis has spoken, that the airport management are pretty much on our side, and they're trying to help us. Plus you, the council members, we thank you very sincerely, especially with the rate. The rate that you passed and was raised has now played a very important role in boosting us or provide the services here. You know, during that time, the drivers maintained their visibility, although many of them ran away when the situation became very bad, especially when we lost some drivers who died. It caused a lot of panic, and they left. And therefore, we thought we are not going to continue providing the services needed at the airport. But fortunately, we had very few drivers who kept maintaining the two lines to provide for taxi cab. One thing again, members of this council, that we would like to present before you is that, as you all know, that when it comes to ground transportation, the taxi cab providers in this city of Atlanta is a traditional transportation services that people would like that taxi cab to be seen everywhere. Although we are having now a different mode of transportation, including Lyft and Uber, but taxi cab is so identified that anybody, it is ready made. They don't have to go and find it. There is a specific area that everybody knows, especially this city of Atlanta is now attracting many exhibitors who are bringing their merchandise here because of the great work the city has done. They want to come and exhibit their product. And the type of vehicle that we do have right now.
Sir, begin to wrap it up for me. You're over your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. It's enough to provide the service that we need. For that reason, gentlemen and ladies, we thank you sincerely. Continue to give us that support, and we thank you for what you're doing to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kim?
How are you doing?
Good, sir.
Everybody, I hope you're fine. My name is Abdul Hakim. I was the taxi industry since 1985. I enjoy being there. We have a lot of admirers, different things. Andrew Young, we appreciate whatever he did in the time. The city changed, in my eyes, Olympics, Democratic Convention, and also, different events. So city is not the one 1985, it's a different city. So only thing we can say, I'm a member of owner of Omega Taxi. We lost a lot because of the CBNC value. We put all our money into the value of the CBNC, and somehow it's go down. We have been again increased, and the city business is increasing. We really appreciate it for price increase. We appreciate it. Also, we need your help for the 10 years because the cars are so expensive. If you go online, anywhere you go, they ask you, in a used car, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. It is really very hard to buy a car, and again, in 7 years to get out of the line. The cars are in good shape. 10 years, taxi drivers, we cannot afford it to be junk. We have to go to the shop and fix it if we want to work. It is not like old days. The cars are computerized. It doesn't allow you to do junk. You have to fix the car. So the car is in good shape in 10 years. We really appreciate the help you did. Airport is good, and we went to him this year to everybody to continue to serve that because there's not enough cars anyway. So we really appreciate for your help, and we ask your help again. We come back, and we pray for you, and we ask you for help. Thank you for the help, and also you need to help us for everything that everybody needs like us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our last speaker will be Mr. Shakir.
Good morning, Ron Shakir. I had a friend who passed about a year ago. You know how time flies. But he was a taxi driver, Mr. Belcher. And it reminds me of transportation, Rosa Parks, and how Martin Luther King and how we reminded of a Jose Williams about the voice that stands up for justice, Mr. Amos. Your voice is a strong voice, and you chairing this committee matters. Mrs. I thought I saw somebody else. But, you know, where we are today is where Martin Luther King stood up for freedom and justice and freedom of speech, what our Constitution is on. What I saw here last week, or it wasn't last week, but it was played on Channel 5 just yesterday, where a head of a department came to defame and attack public comment. It's America. This is something that's bigger than, you know, of just a vote. Well, no, we ain't gonna say bigger than vote, but it's how votes are compromised or how votes are put together. A legislation is written. It's when people come together and they engage one another and they engage their elected officials and they get elected. The fact is, what we're seeing in Atlanta, we may not have no problem with, but people are leaving this city. People are struggling with places to live in this city. It's places where people was able to catch transportation that came from public housing, public transportation. Sound like I'm breaking up here. Public transportation matters. Everything about the public good matters. And for the public to be able to come and speak and address their elected officials should not be taken lightly. It's just, you know, I came here from upstate New York. My family joined Ebenezer Baptist Church, went to Southwest High School, and the King family was there. Mr. A.J. Williams and his family. The King name meant something. I was like, wow, I'm right here. I'm up here in this here Peyton Road area. But the fact is, we're gonna struggle with where we live, Mr. Amos. You was elected from an area where I'm wondering whether or not gentrification is gonna push us out this city. And where we gonna go? And what transportation gonna look like? Where's the consciousness of elected officials? What's the consciousness of neighbors who move in just to gentrify and take the value or the cost of property or the cost of housing after they made somebody real comfortable? Somebody got real comfortable to demolish public housing. The public matter, public speech matter, and please, if you check out that we were able to speak before the meeting and after the meeting, and public voices are being cut out, turn that around. Look at the Maynards and the Jacksons and figure out what public comment was rights were then, and see can we don't slip too far down the slippery slope. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That end public comment. I do see our HR commissioner is here, and I also had a council member that wants to speak and ask some questions.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm trying to figure out when is the appropriate time to ask questions with respect to what is the city's policy as it relates to the retaliation possibly of individuals who are raising concerns and issues with respect to the operation of the airport. I know that we've had some executive sessions surrounding many of the challenges that we've been discussing, but I think it's appropriate at some point to address those, and I know that that's at your discretion, but I know we have a lengthy agenda, but I would like to hear from the HR Commissioner with respect to the status of Ms. Farrell's employment with the City of Atlanta, and I don't know how much information can be given, but I do believe given the Commissioner's extensive HR background as well as your legal background, I think that you can provide some insight that I don't understand. Mr. Chair.
So I see our HR commissioner came. She wasn't originally here, so definitely want to give her a chance to speak. So, yes, go ahead.
Good morning, Tarlisha Williams-Smith, HR Commissioner, City of Atlanta. Good morning, through the chair. I need to know, there were a couple of issues that were mentioned to me, so I wanted to know, I guess in order, which one you wanted me to address, Mr. Chair.
Well, I think each question was directly related to a personnel issue, and I know we can't discuss that here.
Right. So that before let me set the stage before I do that, because the context, especially if there is an open investigation, I cannot speak to it. Certain personnel matters I cannot speak to, but generally I can speak to you about process. So if there's a question about something that happened or anything particular, I can tell you the process by which we operate to move forward. And I will say before this body and any other of the committees, that this HR department under this administration really pulls no punches, and there's no special dispensation for any specific department. Our processes are what they are. They're general, they are lawful, and what we know, we deal with. What we don't know, we ask you to bring to us so we can deal with, and we move forward with it objectively, legally, and as expeditiously as we can. So I'll start there. But if there's a question about a specific matter, I can tell you whether or not, once you ask the question, if I can speak to it directly.
From a legal perspective, what protections are citizens allowed with respect to public comment when raising issues regarding city functions or the operation specific to the airport?
Okay, please don't receive this as me being flippant, but I can't give legal advice for the city. I would have to defer that question to our city attorney, Nina Hickson.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Councilman Williams.
And my question was surrounding around the first thing that Dr. Robinson said today was around Steve Myers and the HR, a decision to hire a person who, and if the chair would, I don't want to misspeak on anything, but it was Steve Myers, a person hired who was told to, according to Dr. Robinson, lie on their application. And she said she was directed by Steve Myers. And so what I wanted to know if you can do an investigation, that was my request, if you can do an investigation on that and give us back a one-pager, or even if we have to go into executive session. But the levy of what he said, I have to ask that. And so that's why I request the HR come down. That was a specific case.
It is a specific case, and I will give you a specific and a general answer to that one. Specifically speaking, that issue has been brought to HR's attention, and we are looking into it. I can't speak to the particulars because I am just literally getting my hands on it, but I can tell you that we do not, it is not condoned to lie on applications. It is not encouraged to tell applicants to lie on applications. We will follow the process to deal with it accordingly. I've been here for about a year. I hope that the work that our office has done has shown some type of objectivity to show and let everyone know, not just in the city, but this council and the confidence of this administration, that we really absolutely don't tolerate that. So that if we will deal with the facts as they present themselves and move forward with the process, and legal process as well as the employment process accordingly.
And that's all I want. I just wanted you to say you were looking at it. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
We have one last question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. It's my understanding from the city attorney that the lawsuit that has been filed was not authorized by the city. And given that I think Ms. Farrell is a city employee, my question is, the issues or the challenges that were raised relate to her duties as a city employee. And so again, my question is, what protections do private citizens have as it relates to coming and giving public comment or raising issues or concerns as to the functions of the city airport or any city entity, given that she is in fact a city employee?
Again, I have to defer because that involves a legal response. I would have to defer to Ms. Hickson. I have to be honest too, I was not able to watch the transcript. I was in the senior leadership meeting, that's why my entire team is here while this meeting was going on. So I wasn't actually, I didn't hear the comment, but I cannot, from the HR space, comment on a lawsuit specifically if it is ongoing or if it has been filed. And I'm not sure whether or not a lawsuit has been filed as it relates to that matter. As you all know, I was away recently due to the death of my mother, so I just came back into the office yesterday. So I'm getting caught up on quite a few things, and the airport issues were some of the issues that were brought forward to me, and we jumped on it right away yesterday. We will be responsive as it relates to that. But of course, once we receive the information, I have to have a discussion with administration. I will come back to this body and give you an update.
And we can extend continued condolences to you and your family.
I appreciate that, and everyone who has reached out and provided support. The outpouring of love from the city was great, and my family and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you all for everything.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, with that being said, we will go into our consent agenda. First reads.
Item number 1, 24-01045, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the Department of Transportation to accept grant award funds from the Georgia Department of Transportation for the construction of CS 434 Lennox Road from CX 3369 East Paces Ferry Road to State Route 141. Identification number listed herein. To authorize the Chief Financial Officer to amend the fiscal year 2024 budget by adding anticipations and appropriations, such grant award funds in the amount of $8,594,878.00. To enter into any necessary agreements with project partners, including the Georgia Department of Transportation, for the implementation of grant and acceptance and participation and for other purposes. Item number 2, 24-01046, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to accept funds and amend the fiscal year 2024 budget by adding to the anticipations and appropriations from the fiscal year 2022 Reconnecting Communities Pilot Grant Program in an amount not to exceed $1,100,000.00 for the funding or planning for the Stitch, and to authorize the mayor or his designee to enter into agreements with the United States Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, and the Georgia Department of Transportation for the implementation of grant acceptance and participation and for other purposes. Item number 3, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to accept funds and amend the fiscal year 2024 budget by adding anticipations and appropriations awarded funds from the fiscal year 2023 Highway Infrastructure COVID Supplemental 23 USC 133B funding program in the amount not to exceed $2,000,000.00 for the funding of planning and or engineering for the Stitch, and to authorize the mayor or his designee to enter into agreements with the United States Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, and the Georgia Department of Transportation for implementation of grant acceptance and participation and for other purposes.
Thanks, sir. That takes us to our regular agenda.
Item number 4, an ordinance by the an ordinance by the Transportation Committee waiving Article 10, Division 4 of the Procurement and Real Estate Code of the City of Atlanta, Georgia Code of Ordinances, to authorize the mayor or his designee to execute contractual agreements, including a memorandum of understanding with the conference organizer and all associated performers, artists, venues, and vendors necessary to effectuate Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport hosting the 2024 Airports Council International 6th Annual Customer Experience Global Summit Conference for the benefit of the public in an amount not to exceed $250,000.00. All contracted work to be charged to and paid from accounts numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Thank you. Before we move forward, just to the committee members, one of the small changes that I would like to make, unless there are direct questions from the committee, no one will be at the podium. There is someone to speak to it, so if you have a direct question, go ahead and ask, but if not, I'm just gonna make a motion to approve and go forward from there. So motion to approve. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, no nays, motion passes. Item number 5.
Item number 5, 24-01028, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee amending fiscal year 2024 Airport Renewal and Extension Fund budget by transferring to and from appropriations in the amount of $100,000,000.00 to provide funding for various projects at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item number 6.
Item number 6, 24-01029, an ordinance by the Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a construction agreement between the City of Atlanta and the Georgia Department of Transportation for the 10th Street Bridge Multimodal Area Enhancements Project, identification number listed herein, authorizing the mayor to enter into a project management agreement between the City of Atlanta and the Midtown Community Improvement District for the 10th Street Bridge Multimodal Area Enhancements Project, amending the 2024 Intergovernmental Grant Fund budget on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation by transferring to and from $40,600.00 for the project and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item number 7.
Item number 7, 24-01031, an ordinance by Councilmember Byron D. Amos to amend Chapter 22, Article 3, Division 7, and to amend Chapter 162, Article 2 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances to amend the City of Atlanta's regulations related to taxi cab and rideshare services to ensure that a level playing field is maintained between vehicle for hire services by providing that taxi cab may utilize cellular telephones, a portable telephone, a standalone computer, a global positioning system receiver, or sustainably similar portable wireless devices as a taximeter, and repealing the requirements that taxi cab companies must have all their taxi cabs painted the same color, in favor of requirements concerning signage or emblems, which mirror such requirements as applicable to rideshare drivers under state law, to raise the permissible age of the taxi or rideshare vehicle from 7 to 10 years, to reduce the burden of entry of taxi, limousine, or rideshare drivers desiring to operate at the airport by repealing the requirement of a vehicle inspection as a prerequisite of an issuance of a permit to operate at the airport, to repeal the CPNC renewal fee, and for other purposes.
Okay, with this, I just had someone ask if they can add their names. So I make a motion to amend.
Lewis.
So we have Waits, Lewis, and Overstreet would like to be added to the paper.
The vote is open. Vote is closed.
Motion to amend passes, so it is amended. So this paper will actually, I'll make a motion to hold this paper. Motion has been made and second by Overstreet. So this paper will be held, and just for everyone to know, there is a good faith effort to get everyone involved, representatives from the taxi, representatives, the airport, vehicle for hire, and the administration together to actually talk about this paper. So when it comes back, hopefully it could be passed with satisfaction of everyone. So motion to hold, and it was seconded by Councilmember Overstreet.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes, paper held. Item number 8.
Mr. Chair, item number 8, 24-01039. There is a motion to bring forth a substitute, and the substitute does amend the caption. So we could bring that forward first, please.
Motion to bring forward a substitute. Motion made and second. Open the vote.
Open. Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is before us.
Item number 8, 24-01039. A substitute ordinance by Councilmember Dustin Hillis, Matt Westmoreland, Liana Bakhtiari, and Jason Dorzer, as amended by the Transportation Committee. An ordinance to amend Ordinance 23-01300, adopted by the City Council, Atlanta City Council, June 20th, 2023, and approved by operation of law on June 29th, 2023, to rename the Atlanta Fatal Vehicle Collision Review Commission to the Atlanta Fatal Crash Review Commission, to modify commission membership so that City Council shall appoint 3 members from its body to serve on the commission for a term of 2 years, to modify the duties of the commission and related city departments, and for other purposes.
Thank you, Chairman Amos. I want to make a motion to hold this for 2 weeks' time certain. I need to get with ATL DOT, imagine Ms. Smoot Madison, and we need to have a meeting with APD to go through some details in this revision of the commission. So I'll make a motion to hold for 2 weeks, time certain.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The paper is held. Item number 9.
Item number 9, 24 3108, a resolution by Councilmember Mary Norwood requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on East Conway Drive Northwest between Northside Drive Northwest and Jet Road Northwest and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, there is a motion to amend this, minor language in the last whereas clause.
Motion to amend. Motion has been made and second. Please open your vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
Paper is amended. Motion to hold. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The paper is held. Item number 10.
Item number 10, 24R3109, a resolution by Councilmember Mary Norwood requesting the mayor or his designee to make the intersection of East Conway Drive Northwest and Raintree Lane Northwest an always stop controlled intersection and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, there is a motion to hold on behalf of the sponsor for this item.
Motion to hold. Second. Motion has been made and second. Open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The paper is held. Item number 11.
Item number 11, 24R3112, a resolution by Councilmember Amir Faroki authorizing the mayor or his designee to install an always stop at the intersection of North Highland Avenue Northeast and Carmel Avenue Northeast and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, no nays. Motion approved. Item number 12.
Item number 12, 24R3114, a resolution by Councilmember Marcy Collier Overstreet requesting the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install flashing beacons and object markers on El Paso Road Southwest and Campbellton Road Southwest and for other purposes.
Councilmember Overstreet.
Yeah, so this paper, I'm not sure if the wording is proper because I think that we may need to amend it to say that we will work with GDOT. Can ATL DLT come to expound? But so should we approve as amended? Because I know that we have to work with GDOT because it is state road.
Absolutely. Lenore Bromberg, Deputy Commissioner, ATL DT, Office of Engineering. And if the language isn't clear, then I would suggest that.
Okay.
But automatically, since they're the owner of the roadway, we would automatically be taking it to them with a request to consider for traffic safety improvements.
Okay. So move approval and just I understand that we have to work with them to get this done.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. The motion carries. To my understanding, we're about to take item number 13, 16, and 17 as a block.
Yes, Mr.
Proceed.
Chair. Item number 13, 24R3115, a resolution by Councilmember Jason Dozer requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Gordon Terrace Southwest from Racine Street Southwest to Martin Luther King Drive Southwest and for other purposes. Item number 16, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Alta View Drive Southeast from Cleveland Avenue Southeast to Springside Drive Southeast Fair Lane Drive Southeast from Cleveland Avenue Southeast to Altaview Drive Southeast, Level Ridge Road Southeast from Springside Drive Southeast to Susie Griffin Road Southeast, and River Ridge Road Southwest from Springside Drive Southwest to Susie Griffin Road Southeast, and for other purposes. Item number 17, 24R3119, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis requesting the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Springsdale Road Southwest from Jefferson Avenue to Lakewood Avenue, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Vote is closed.
There's 5 yeas, no nays. Motion passes. Item number 14.
Item number 14, 24R3116, a resolution by Councilmember Jason Dozer requesting the mayor or his designee make an always stop-controlled intersection at Gordon Terrace Southwest and Racine Street Southwest, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item number 15.
Item number 15, 24R3117, a resolution by Councilmember Antonio Lewis requesting the mayor or his designee install traffic calming devices on Humphreys Drive Southeast from Springside Drive Southeast to Browns Mill Road Southeast, and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, there is a motion to hold this item on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation.
Thank you. The author would like someone from ADOT to actually speak to that reholding.
I'm glad to know y'all are confirmed, because I got that street, I know that street like the back of my hand. And I know there's a school there, and I know that the residents, constituents on the street, they requested this like 2 or 3 times. So I feel good about Humphreys Drive with Humphreys Elementary School on it.
Apology, just a second. So I don't believe that we requested this one to be held. There was a different one that was requested. We have evaluated this, and it would be eligible for the traffic calming. It's just that we don't have funding available in this particular fiscal year. So we would have no objection to this paper moving forward as it was written.
What's the pleasure, sir?
So move.
There's a motion that has been made and seconded. Please open the vote. Oh, sorry. Councilmember Hillis.
Thank you, Chair Amos. Speaking of the funding, ATL DOT. You stated that funding was not available this fiscal year.
That's
We're only
correct.
barely, not even 7 months through this fiscal year.
That is correct. So
Many millions of dollars went to traffic calming and MAF as well, outside of just the regular annual allocation. So I would request that this committee get a report of the amount from this general fund budget for this fiscal year, how it was spent, and what the accounting is on all of the MAF funds. I forget the exact amount, but it was multiple millions. And to hear that, these speed tables are getting delayed, this happens year after year, and no further money is put towards this, outside of MAF, but speaking of the general fund. So if we could just get that information, that would be great.
yes, sir, I'd be happy to.
Thank you. Everyone, please vote.
Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. Number 18.
Item number 18, 24, Mr. Chair, item number 18, 19, 20, 2 and 23 can be taken as a block.
Okay, proceed.
Item number 18, 24R3166, a resolution by the Transportation Committee supplementing a task order fund in the amount not to exceed $333,333.00 for use under contract, a number listed herein, for on-call electrical services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Cleveland IntelliSpring, a joint venture for the Department of Aviation on a task order basis. All services will be charged to and paid from an account number listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 19, 24R3167, a resolution by the Transportation Committee supplementing a joint task order fund for fiscal year 2024 in an amount not to exceed $42,955,858.00 for use under 5 architectural and engineering design services contracts for the services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. All services will be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 20, 24R3168, a resolution by the Transportation Committee supplementing a task order fund in the amount of $10,290,000.00 for use under contract number listed herein for program management support services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Atlanta Aviation Associates, a joint venture, to provide program management support services with the Department of Aviation on a task order basis. All services will be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. Item number 22, 24R3170, a resolution by the Transportation Committee supplementing a joint task order fund in an amount not to exceed $1,800,000.00 for use under 2 quality assurance materials testing, subsurface investigations, and special inspections contracts for a contract number listed herein with Terracon Oasis JV and an account number listed herein with ATL QA, a joint venture, to provide inspections, subsurface investigations, and testing during the construction of various airport projects for the Department of Aviation on a task order basis. All services will be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes. And finally, item number 23, 24R3171, a resolution by the Transportation Committee supplementing a task order fund in an amount not to exceed $7,266,310.00 for use under contract number listed herein for construction management support services at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with ATL Construction Management Partners, a joint venture comprised of CH2M Hill Incorporated, Rohan Fox Construction Control Services Corporation, and Parsons Transportation Group Incorporated to provide construction management support services for the Department of Aviation on a task order basis. All services will be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
A motion to approve items number 18, 19, 20, 22, and 23, correct? Motion to approve. Need a second?
Oh, second.
Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, no nays. Passes. Item number 21.
Item number 21, 24R3169, a resolution by the Transportation Committee to fund construction services for Phase 3 for project number FC8469, domestic terminal parking decks, reconstruction and replacement, construction management at risk at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Holder Austin Moody Bryson, a joint venture comprised of Holder Corporation Group, Holder Construction Group, LLC, Austin Commercial LP, CD Moody Construction Company, Incorporated, and Bryson Constructors, Incorporated, in a partial funding amount of $100 million.00. All services will be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Motion has been made and second. Please open the vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed.
5 yeas, 0 nays. I believe that brings us to the end of our actionable items, which will take us back to the top for our presentation from the Department of Aviation and the airport.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, City Council Member, B.B. Udari, Aviation General Manager, and this is our fourth quarter calendar year 23 presentation. So the last quarter, I mentioned about our 10-year visualization, and I asked everyone to come on this flight of imagination with us. And we are starting the year very, very busy. And I think barring any major downturn in the economy or another pandemic, in the next 10 years, we will see 1 billion passengers coming through the airport, along with over 8 million flight operations, over $7 billion in capital program, and then a suite of technology and other environmental stewardship program that we have in our portfolio. People, last time I was here, we had 225 vacancies of our authorized strength of 897 FTEs. We're down to 184, which is about 20% vacancy. And of that, over 50% is less than 6 months vacant. So this is a comparison, or this is a snapshot of our four quarters calendar year 23 operations. If you look at this here, we're doing about 8 million passenger per month coming through the airport. If you look at our flight operations, quite significant growth in all areas. The only area that I am not very pleased with, and that we are pushing communication out there, working with our law enforcement, is the number of guns that are captured at our checkpoint. And it's a testament to our men and women of the Transportation Security Administration, the work they're doing in discovering these weapons. And here's a comparison of our peak year of 2019 going all the way up to 2023. As you see, in 2019, we moved 110 million passenger, and we're at 105, well, to be exact, 100.4.7 million passenger. In 2023, that's equal to about 285,000 passengers coming through the airport every single day, 7 days a week. And so the team has to be on their A game 365 days a week. Look at this here, over 2,200 flights coming in and out of the airport every single day. You look at our TNC operations, over 8,000 daily, and even a growth in our taxi operations because of some changes we have made. We are seeing at we went from about 400 taxi operations a day to over 1,300 each day. Some of our major projects that are in process right now, of course, we have talked extensively about Concourse D widening. That construction have started. It's a $1.3 billion project. This is the modular yard that we have completed. And on the far upper left, you could see the steels are being built. There are eight sections going on right now. And what we will do is, as we finish a section, we will transport those using a modular unit and set it in place and then outfit. The mayor was in Washington a couple of weeks ago and briefed the president on this process. This is very innovative, and it will result in less disruption to our existing operations. You just approved some money for our parking deck. This is a construction site. As you drive on the south side, you will see cranes up there. Construction is underway. We expect this project to be delivered to us in June of 2026. That's the mandate I put on the team, so that we'll be ready for FIFA 2026. And it will save us a lot of money, and it will bring in about $11 million in additional revenue to us. The cost of this, and Councilmember Overstreet, you asked about this the last time, $425 million in construction. And there's a number of reasons for that. It's just not parking space. It's the overflight that we'll be building to connect our roadway system, a pedestrian walkway to connect the deck to the terminal, so you don't have to cross roadway systems and stuff like that, with the latest technology. Very proud of the team to deliver this project ahead of schedule. It was scheduled to complete in 2024. We completed in calendar year 2023 at a cost of $55 million. 18 upgraded checkpoint with the latest in technology. to screen passengers. This is our main security checkpoint. And something that we are always proud of, and the rest of the industry is looking at that, is our DB performance. Over 333 MBE, FB, DB, and SB contractor in our, this is only construction. A total of $911 million paid out in the last 7.5 years, which equates to about 32% going to small businesses. Our goal is about 40%, but because of some of the complexity and some of the specialized things we're doing, such as the train system and stuff like that, we're still focusing on giving opportunities to small businesses. But there's so much work to be had in the region, especially with GDOT, that a lot of the small businesses are overtaxed in terms of the resource. But we do have a very strong, robust program to try to attract small businesses to come and work at the airport. Looking ahead at what we have coming, there's some federal well, before I get to that, we're very focused on technology. For those of you that fly Delta, you know that there is something called digital ID. It's a facial recognition. You walk, the camera look at you. You don't even have to show your ID or your boarding pass. And within 5 minutes, it gives you a green or a red. If you have a green, you're going through security checkpoint. Great technology. Custom and Border Protection, if you're working in the federal inspection area, Mr. Chair, you know this very well, on your badge you need a custom seal. This authorizes you to be in that federal areas. It takes weeks, if not months, to get that seal. Now we have streamlined that process with CBP, and we are doing electronic badging, which instead of taking six weeks to 2 months is now like maybe 6 days. So totally streamline that process. And one of the things that we are really concentrating on is securing our entire technology suite, especially as it comes to cybersecurity. You all probably heard on the news over the last 24 hours another cybersecurity in the city. The airport is it has a keen focus and a very strong focus, and we are expending a lot of resource to make sure that our servers are protected, because if our servers are breached, for every 24 hours, the financial impact of the airport, if it has to be closed, is $72 million. And so you could imagine how important cybersecurity protection is for the airport. Some of the things that is coming down the chain that will be mandated to airport is aviation employee screening. I was at a conference a couple of weeks ago where the TSA administrator made it clear to airport that this is going to be mandated, and it's an unfunded mandate. Airport are pushing back, but at the end of the day, this is going to become a mandate for all airport. Atlanta cannot say we are not going to do it. Last year, we confiscated over 55 weapons at the employee security checkpoint. 55 weapons. Half of those weapons had a round in its chamber. So we take this very, very seriously in terms of employee screening, and we are well ahead of the mandate. The other mandate that is coming to us is our safety management system, and we have been doing safety management since I've been at this airport over 20 years. In the last 10 years, we have formalize our process, and that's why our safety record is so good, because of the system we have in place to ensure that all our construction project out in the airfield is reviewed, is looked at, and every conceivable issue that could create a safety hazard is mitigated. One of the things that as we look ahead, and I talked about the 10 years look ahead, moving 1 billion passenger, is infrastructure. We have to have the infrastructure to do that, right? And so to continue to build upon this infrastructure, funding will become critical. The law said you have to make your money to spend money on building your infrastructure, but we also need some support from the federal government in the form of federal grants. So funding is always going to be in our forefront as we work with the federal government to ensure that we have appropriate funding for our continuous build at the airport. A couple of things that I want to bring to this body. Last year, as we went and we talked about terminal operations, we have gone back you have granted me an extension, and so that extension is a 6-month extension. I'm happy to let this body know that we have revised that entire program. It will continue to be a small business program, and in the next few days, we'll move forward with our procurement to select a vendor to manage our terminal-to-terminal operations. We're rebranding the name. It will be ATL Connect. So we're connecting the domestic terminal to the rental car to the international terminal. So that will be out in the next few days, and so you may hear some buzz about that. The other thing that will be out is our curbside management, another small contract that will manage both our domestic terminal, our international terminal, and the taxi assembly area with that program. So there will be 2 contracts out there. CPO will put out a blackout memo probably as early as next week. So please look out for that. And air service development. Last year, we added 11 international destinations to our portfolio, 2 of which I'm very proud of, Tel Aviv in the Middle East and Addis Ababa with Ethiopian Air in Africa. We continue to hone our approach towards growing our international air service, especially in the continent of Africa and the continent of Asia. And in 2024, we have a new service that will start in June, Scandinavian Air, direct flight from Atlanta to Copenhagen. So if you're looking to visit the Scandinavian continent areas, Scandinavian Air, along with our hometown carrier, will provide you direct flights to those areas. Of course, we're looking at Latin, South America, and Mexico to continue build our air service in those areas. And of course, we do all of it with a vision, a mission, and a set of core value. With that, Mr. Chair and City Council, thank you very much, and I'll subject myself to any questions you may have. I know I rushed through that.
Thank you, sir, very much. Councilmember Weeks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. B, thank you so much for the presentation. I'm reaching out to inquire what are your thoughts in terms of how we need to proceed, but I received a phone call from one of the concessionaires at the airport where an unsheltered or homeless individuals came into the restaurant, grabbed the food from a patron, and took it out of the location, sat in the atrium area and ate the food. What measures can we put in place? And again, I applaud the administration for all of the efforts that they have made to address this. And I'm clear that Atlanta is a very unique dynamic in the fact that other cities are sending individuals here. What is it that we can do to address this? And I'm also being told that MARTA is releasing a number, and again, this is not something that I've been able to validate, but this is what I am understanding, that the last 2 train rides for the evening, that MARTA is releasing the unsheltered off of the trains into the airport, and that was the last train to go. So essentially, these are individuals who end up stuck at the airport for the evening. What can we do to, 1, collaborate with MARTA, 2, what other resources do we need to put in place to ensure that our travelers and our visitors are not having to deal with a social issue that we need to handle internally?
Thank you, Councilman. We'll wait for that. That question, as you know, we have had, and as I mentioned in my briefing last quarter, any airport, we have an entire group together in the industry talking about this issue. It's not an Atlanta issue. It's a society issue. It's an issue with among many other airports that have public transportation into the airport. So what we have done, we have a task force in place to look at this. We have implemented an operational hour that was passed by this body that you must have business to come into the airport, and that operations hour is from 11:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. There is a piece of legislation that is being reviewed by law right now that will make it way over here. We want to increase that operational hour for it to be 24/7. This will empower APD to approach folks, because right now, APD is very, very hesitant to approach folks if they're sitting out there to say, do you have business here? Let me see your ticket. But with this legislation, it will empower APD to able to approach folks so that they could determine if they have business or not. If they don't have business, they will be asked to leave the airport. In addition to that, there's another piece of legislation that will come here. We are increasing our capability to bring in a contractor similar to Hope to help us with transportation, help us with triaging, help us in finding the necessary shelter or help for these folks that are coming to the airport.
So it's my understanding upstairs, there's a nonprofit organization that addresses this issue, but to my understanding, they don't monitor or walk around to see. In fact, I received a tour where I observed in the middle of the day a number of individuals who were sleeping in the airport. And I understand the need for sensitivity and compassion. And so how can we collaborate with PAD and with all of the organizations to make something happen? And because it appears to be a reoccurring problem over and over again. And the other piece is, how can we work with MARTA to ensure that we are addressing it at the MARTA station versus allowing them to spill over into the airport? Is it possible that you can reach out to MARTA and so that we can coordinate with our other nonprofits to assist these individuals before they come into the airport area?
Correct. So we do coordinate with MARTA, PD. MARTA and our PD coordinate together. On the last two trains, they triage at College Park, and then they will put in the individual back on the train to head back downtown. So it's been very effective for us because we have dropped from, in the past, a couple of hundred individuals coming to the airport tonight. In the last week, I will tell you, we are averaging about 35 individuals. On the coldest night, we saw a spike where we were averaging about 50 individuals coming to the airport. And that's because of the collaboration between MARTA and APD. In addition to the other agencies that you mentioned, we do have a strong collaboration with them, and our team is working very, very diligent with them, especially with Hope. And we do have a Hope team at the airport, but it's a limited number. They're under contract with us. That's why we're putting more money into that contract to expand that contract. So at least we'll have a minimum of, and the requirement is to have 3 of those contractor employed at the airport 24/7 to assist us in the triage capabilities.
Our next speaker, and I do see representatives from MARTA here. I don't know if you want to speak to that collaboration, but please speak to that.
Natalie Knight. I would just like to add that recently Councilmember Michael Bond created legislation that created a homeless task force, and he was thoughtful and grateful enough to, at the request and after meeting with MARTA, to add a representative to that task force. So MARTA will be working with the airport as a part of that task force in order to help address that concern.
Great, and thank you so much. Were you guys aware that the MARTA police were releasing them or allowing them to come into the airport versus stopping them at the East Point and College Park train station?
That is something that I will get back to you with, and we can respond to that later.
Right, and also too, my thought is, versus putting them back on the train, can we hold them there and take them somewhere where we can assist them and provide them with services, given the resources that the City of Atlanta has allocated, I think $2.4 million.
And that is actually one reason why MARTA is really excited about being able to be a part of this task force, so that we can be able to work with the airport and all of the individuals on the task force to come up with a plan in order to work to get those individuals in a proper place.
Can you come back and brief out at the next transportation meeting regarding the plan in terms of what we can implement and put in place?
Here's Colleen, where she can address some other questions.
I'm grateful.
I'm Colleen Kiernan, the AGM of External Affairs for MARTA. I just wanted to add to what Natalie told you that MARTA already has a partnership with Hope Atlanta, so we already are, a fair amount of budget is already allocated towards MARTA protective specialists and Hope Atlanta caseworkers move throughout the system, engaging folks who appear to be unsheltered and trying to direct them with resources. And so we'll provide an update for you at our first quarter briefing on the program overall. But like Bea said, that MARTA police and folks at the airport are in tight coordination. And, really, we need to be careful. It's like we basically push the problem around without solving it. So, while I'm sensitive to customers of the airport, as I am one myself, it's a systemic problem that is not a transportation problem, and we really need all capacities in order to help solve it and help address people who are unsheltered.
It's not a critique. I understand the sensitivity and the complexity of the issue, but I was specifically told that the MARTA, and I can't validate this, but MARTA police were actually putting them off the train at the airport. And so
We have a different perspective on that, but, you know, I think we should air it out, not on camera.
I respect that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. And right before my colleagues speak, and Mr. Bill Dorey knows, I was a proud member of DOA security, and I was there when we started the task force. There is some fine tuning that can be done with our partners into making this truly work for everybody. So I am a member of that task force that Councilmember Bond put together. So I have a very unique perspective and can understand things a little differently about what needs to be done. So thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Bill
Mr.
Dorey.
Chair.
I do want to go back to one point. No, Miss Overstreet, I'm sorry, you're next. No, I just wanted him to say again the number of people. We broke a record or broke a milestone in the number of people last year through our airport. And I just want you to be proud and say it.
So let me put it this way. The mayor and I was talking about it and we're trading text messages, and the mayor said 104.7 million passenger is more people on the entire galaxy than any other airport will see in 2023.
Yeah, that's good news. And I'm glad you brought that back up so that we can highlight those things where we're winning. We should absolutely celebrate that. But, you know, when I ask for something and you all deliver it, like putting a funding amount on projects, I appreciate that. So thank you for doing that today because, you know, of course, if I notice that it's missing, that means everyone else will. And of course, that'll turn into something that really isn't, because we're transparent and doing the right things with our funding. And I appreciate you adding that. So at the beginning of each year, and this is the first of 2024, I usually reflect and also look forward to think about some of the issues or some of the processes that we can actually change or improve on. So I'm going to ask the ATL, the Department of Aviation, to think about a 5-year plan on how to get people from the international concourse to domestic concourse in a better way other than just the shuttle. Because I traveled again over the holidays, and out of everything that we do at the airport, we do it all so well. We do it better than anyone. That's the only thing that I'd like for us to do better. So, you know, and be broad in your scope. Like, just make it your best effort of how you would like to see it. I don't care what that looks like. I just want us to imagine a different way to get that done. And because I think that even if we dream it up, we can actually achieve it soon. But that's the only thing. And I really thought about this. I'm like, what would I actually change? Because surely I'm not 100% comfortable with everything. And the things that I would like to change are things that we're already working on. But this is something that really does give me a little bit of angst. And I would like for us to have at least a plan of what we would like to see. I've come up with a few things myself. I'm happy to share them with you. But they are pies in the sky, for sure. And I'm going to tell you that ahead of time. But, you know, I just looked at all different airports, and I just want us to have no reason to not be number one at everything. And I do not like the way that I have to get back to domestic after an international travel. And you know, that's when you're tired and really ready to be home. So that's the only thing that I have that's my only ask for 2024 at this time. Okay?
Thank you, Councilmember Overstreet.
What do you think about
we have a
that?
two-pronged approach to that, right?
Okay.
Number one is I'm a member of the Regional Commission here with
ARC, GDOT, and others, even Marta, Kali, myself, we're looking at, and we're talking about the regional transportation solution, right? So that's a big vision, big pie in the sky. If money was not an obstacle, that's not. And so a master plan that we do, it normally lasts for about 20 years. But because of all the changing conditions at our airport, that master plan is only 8 years old. It was 7 years ago when I asked and requested Dr. Nasaki, who is sitting back there, to take a fresh look at our master plan and redo the entire master plan. So we're in the middle of that right now. That's one of the elements is how do we make transportation from the international, domestic, and back easy. One thing I talked to him about the other day, can we build our own secure roads so people don't have to sit in the traffic? So we're looking at out of the box thinking, as you suggest.
Okay.
So it's on our radar.
Good. That's exciting. So, yeah,
But
money's
we would
no
like to
object.
hear your ideas too.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Bidori. Just a few items. Number one is a simple request. If you could forward this committee an updated organizational chart for the airport.
We'll do that.
Secondly, and I'll bring this up to basically all committees, especially departments that have very public-facing operations. And I guess one could argue you're probably the most public-facing department that we have, given the number of passengers that come through the airport yearly. In your presentation, I appreciate all the the updates and the construction projects, et cetera, but I would really like to see more quality metrics in the next quarterly report. You can decide what those are, but I would imagine, wait time, on-time performance, baggage handling metrics. I don't know if you reach out to customers and do surveys with them, but would like to see those, and also a employee vacancy level report. And some of those you can break down international versus domestic. So is that something we could look forward to and request in your next quarterly?
Oh, yes. We're all about metrics and measurement, and I could give you an entire folder on that. So we keep metrics and everything. And that's how we're able to run an efficient operation. So we have to know if we're winning the game. We have everything from baggage, number of luggage that comes through here, to wait time, both at CBP, TSA, vacancy rate, by unit, by type of vacancies, by qualification, whether it's a professional service or a skilled laborer. We have it all. So I will put together with my team, we will come up with a logical 1 or 2 pager metrics to present to the body.
Okay, I appreciate that. The third item is something that's already been spoken to, but in the next quarterly, if you could provide for some more information on the efforts around unsheltered individuals in the airport and how they're being provided services. So that would be appreciated. And lastly, this is kind of public safety related. I missed public safety yesterday, but police at the airport are funded by your airport funds, the airport funds, but you could previously get on APD's website, and their citywide crime report would provide not only crime statistics broken down by the zones, but they would also provide a page on airport crime statistics. They no longer do that for some reason, and they also are not counting airport crime in the citywide crime report when they're giving crime levels and how they've risen or fallen. I know I've received reports of a large number of auto thefts from the airport recently. So I don't know if you need to get with APD to speak about that, the Major Collier, or one of the deputy chiefs. And I don't know, maybe that's something that Chair Amos needs to speak with Chair Boone about. I don't know if that needs to be reported to the Public Safety Committee or this committee, but again, since all of the APD force is funded by airport funds, not the general fund, it may be appropriate for this committee. But we'd just like to see more information, not only in your quarterly report, but also available to the public like it used to be, about how crime has risen or fallen at the airport.
Okay, I will certainly speak to Major Collier and Chief Sherbam, and I hear what you're saying, and we will make, it is something that needs to be transparent, and we'll certainly make it transparent. And whether it's going to be at public safety or in this committee and our website, we will make that determination in the coming days.
All right. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Thanks,
sir.
Mr. Chair.
You, Councilmember Waits.
Just wanted to follow up on Vice Chair Overstreet's comments. I'm curious as to what is the reason why the international passengers just can't get back on the train and go to the domestic terminal? Is there a reason why we don't do that?
Because you are touching your checked baggage coming from an international, so it's no longer a sterile bag. Okay. And a lot of people bring a weapon or other prohibited item to take through the.
Thank you for the explanation. And finally, there is a perception from some of the concessionaires that the South Terminal has heavy police presence and the North Terminal is left to fend for itself. And so my question is, and again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I did go on a tour of the airport this week, and I did notice that there is a heavier presence on the South Terminal versus the North Terminal. And it's my understanding that Delta is funding some of that, I believe.
So we have at least five based on the staffing model. APD officer that protected the domestic terminal. Delta wanted more protection for their site, so they hire off-duty officer for greater presence, especially in their baggage claim areas.
Okay, so can we assist in terms of beefing up security on the north side so that way they will have the same presence that the south side has?
I will talk to the public safety folks and get back with you.
Thank you so much.
Questions? With that being said, thank you, Mr. Bill Dory, for the one more.
It's not germane to
Oh,
this.
okay. Thank you, sir, very much. See you next time.
Thank you.
I do know the taxi cab people in the airport. I don't know if a vehicle for hire, please, let's get together and get a date so we can try to move things forward.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Waits, then Overstreet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For our objectives for the 24 year, I wanted to see if we could do something as a committee to address the train blockages. This issue continues to come up throughout the city of Atlanta, where we really have not, I guess, been proactive in terms of addressing that issue. And I have a piece of legislation in utilities, but it has been on hold for some time now. And so I'd love to have that addressed here in this committee where I think is more appropriate for the citizens. Recently, emergency vehicles are not able to get through because the trains are continuing to sit on the tracks. And so this has been a 30-year conversation, which you were aware of, and I think that some type of penalties may be in order to address it.
Okay. We'll definitely add it to the goals. Councilmember Overstreet.
I just want to wish my daughter, my baby girl, a happy 19th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the baby.
With that being said, that brings us to the end of our legislative agenda. I do want to remind the committee, I believe at ADOT, Atlanta Department of Transportation, is our next presenters at our next meeting. I say that because here's a perfect time to get our answers to them so they can bring us my questions to them so they can bring us real answers. Right. So let's get it. If we get it to Ashley, to them, and CCI or Mr. Overton, so we can make sure they have answers coming in. I think that'll help us get a productive meeting that we're all looking for. So with that being said, we stand adjourned. Thank you.